What's up? Ty from Plugged On. I'm here with an album review. This time I'm going to be talking about the new album from the band Kamelot titled The Shadow Theory. This came out April 6th. Napalm Records. This is their 12th album and the follow-up to 2015's Haven, which I thoroughly enjoyed over time, for sure. And I like Kamelot a lot. If you don't know them, they are a symphonic power metal band, you could say, with a little bit more darker elements to them. And they produce some very fascinating, engrossing, and sometimes downright sexy moments, especially on vocals. Just gotta say it. Just get it out there. Turns me on. What do I think of this album? I thoroughly enjoy a good number of tracks on here. And I'll get to some other things later, but I think this album starts off with some good energy to it for sure, with tracks like Phantom Divine, Shadow Empire, and Raven Light. I reviewed Raven Light. I think that song actually fits within their album a lot better. Just going straight from Phantom Light right into that opening riff of Raven Light, I think is from Phantom Divine. What am I saying? From Phantom Divine right into Raven Light, I think is a good pop. You know what I mean? Like, I could totally see Kamelot on their next tour opening with Phantom Divine and then going right into Raven Light, just because it's got good energy to it. Those two tracks are really good. And on Phantom Divine, they have Lauren Hart from Once Human doing some vocals on there, which just sounds fantastic. I love when she comes back and sings that chorus there, just to spice things up. Then it gets to Amnesiac, which is a song that I personally just can't get into. I don't know. It's just something about it. It's just not one of my favorites. It's not bad, but I think there's better stuff, and I think the next two tracks are probably my favorite on the album. That's Burn to Embrace and In Twilight Hours. Burn to Embrace has some solid riffage going on, but then it's the chorus that I think is definitely the best part. And to me, it's the ending of the track that gets me every time. I want to crank it up all the time when I listen to that, with the chorus, and then it just kind of breaks with just the guitar, and then it's just, the choir, children sounding vocals there towards the end, I think really add a nice touch to it. And damn, that'll get stuck in your head all day. And I think it's moments like those that Kamelot are really great at producing. That just sounds incredible on this record, with the way that they just put all that together. It's just timed perfectly. Everything's great. Then you get to In Twilight Hours, which is a slower song that I think between Tommy Karavik and Jennifer Haben from Beyond the Black, those two going back and forth between male and female vocals there just sounds fantastic. She sounds great. He sounds great. I love when they're both singing together. I love the chorus and just the emotion in that track. I think I do really like that one. I mean, the first time I was listening to this, I heard Burn to Embrace and then In Twilight Hours, and I'm like, damn, those are the songs to me that really have stood out to make this a pretty solid album. Then it gets to some of my other favorites. I think Static is another good one that has some good guitar work and a really catchy chorus. I love Tommy Karavik's vocals during that entire track. What is it? Vespertine? My Crimson Bride. I'm totally blanking right now. I don't know why. That's another one that I like, and I do like the way this album ends with The Proud and the Broken. The only thing that I feel with this album is, like I said, there's some tracks that I really do like. I do think this album is very well produced. There's some solid guitar work going on, some good guitar solos at times too, that I think very much stand out from the pack. And Kamelot have always had some really solid, very well written guitar solos, so there's some of that there too. I like the guest vocal appearances. Just to me, that personally, this album just does not hit the highs that I expect from a Kamelot album. I would definitely say this album does have a consistency to it. Some tracks do lose me, especially a little bit towards the end, like Kevlar Skin, Mindfall Remedy, Stories Unheard. Those songs just, they didn't do anything for me personally. It might do something for you, and that's fine. That's great. Jam the shit out of them, you know what I mean? But I just feel like Haven had a little bit more to it, and this definitely doesn't have as many hits on it, in my opinion, or as many overall just fantastic highs as, say, the Black Halo or Ghost Opera or something like that. It has some quality tracks that I like, and that I could see Kamelot playing live from here on out. But it doesn't have, like, I'm thinking of, you know, When the Lights Go Down, Insomnia, something like that, Veil of Elysium, like tracks like that, even from Silverthorn, like Sacrimony, something like that. You know, don't get me wrong, I like Ravenlight, I like Phantom Divine, but they don't get me fucking going as much as those tracks do. And like I said, I do think like Burn to Embrace and in Twilight Hours are some of the better ones. But you cannot fault the production of a Kamelot album, especially their most recent ones. Holy hell, are they produced so well. I think it really does add to their overall tone and experience of the album. It is an experience, and that's what I do like about this album especially. And I think that is another thing about this album that I think I like a little bit more than Haven, is that it does feel a little bit better to listen to as a whole than Haven does, personally. Just my thoughts. So let me know what you think of The Shadow Theory by Kamelot. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with a lot more stuff, hopefully. See ya.